Whoops.
Think I'd try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking. Going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me on tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around.
I had such an amazing time at Twee Rivieren with some pretty awesome sightings as well, like that cheetah near Samefloeing or that leopard walking down the riverbed near Achterloonie. And who can forget those cute little meerkats at Kgalagadi Trails. But today I'm driving to Mata Mata, where I'll be camping for the next 4 days. And just like with Twee Rivieren, I decided I want to get there nice and early so that I can get a nice campsite. So at the moment I'm just slowly driving up the Auob riverbed, hoping to see something nice along the way. Woohoo! Just saw my first lions. Beautiful lioness and a big black-maned lion at 14th Borehole. Yo, man, I'm really looking forward to these next 4 days at Mata Mata. So it looks like getting here early worked. I managed to get a very shady spot under this big, beautiful camel thorn tree. So time to set up camp.
Feel it in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough.
There we go, my lovely new little campsite here at Mata Mata is up. I do have some neighbors here behind me, but I was able to block them off nicely with the car. And as you might be able to hear, it's quite windy, so I had to make a plan with that tent. Let me actually show you. This Austrail Tasman 4V or V4, whatever it's called, it's a great tent for when it's really hot and you want to take that cover off. But man, I tell you, in the wind, it's given me a lot of problems. And the reason for that is because the wind comes in underneath these little flaps. So at the moment, I've put some dumbbells on there, but on the inside, what I've done is I've actually taken my spare sheet and a sarong, and on either side, kind of made a bit of a plan. Let me show you. So I've kind of just hung it up there to kind of block any sand that comes through underneath. So the Windy app is predicting heavy or strong winds for this evening around 8 o'clock. So let's hope I'm properly prepared. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm already heading out for my afternoon game drive, which might sound crazy considering how hot it is. But you know what, here in the Kgalagadi there's a saying, A change in the weather often brings about a change in behavior. So what I'm hoping for is that those 2 sleepy lions that I left at 14th Borehole this morning might start getting active soon, just because it's a little bit cooler and quite windy. And if I look closely at that lioness's teats, they were quite swollen, so I actually think she might have small cubs, so you never know. Now it's about an hour's drive there, which means it's going to be an hour back to Mata Mata, so I'll probably only have 4.5 hours or so to sit there, but a lot can happen in that time. How cool is that? These lions are still right here where I left them this morning. Oh, and they look hot and they're full of flies. I'm so hoping that Mama's going to bring out some cubs later, or at least go for a drink. See those suckle marks? She's definitely got cubs. Just looking around to see whether I can spot the cubs, and I just spotted another male lion under another tree. Amazing. Around 2:30 the lions got a little bit restless and the female decided to get up and head over to the waterhole for a drink. With her thirst quenched, she headed back to the male, and together they looked for even deeper shade. It was only at 5:30 that they finally became active, and I knew that the mother would be heading to the cubs. The only question was, where was she keeping them? I watched as they slowly walked away from me, crossing the dune and disappearing into the distance. I wasn't going to be seeing any lion cubs that afternoon. On the way back to Mata Mata, however, I was lucky enough to bump into a cheetah female called Lizzie drinking at Sitsa's waterhole in the last bit of golden light of the day. I woke up to a lovely, cool and wet morning and decided to head to a nearby waterhole. It's early morning here at Craig Lockhardt waterhole, the second one down from Mata Mata. As you can hear in the background, the doves are very active all around the waterhole. And that's what I've decided to do this morning. I'm going to sit at this waterhole, and I must be honest with you, it's quite tough for me because it's quite a nice overcast day. In fact, it rained a little bit earlier, so I'm very tempted to keep driving to see what I bump into. But I thought, you know what, let's actually try to just sit here and wait to see what comes down. You see, there are three ways that you could do game drives here in the Kgalagadi. The first is to just sit at a waterhole and wait for the animals to come to you instead of you finding them. And it's the toughest because very often for an hour or more you can sit and see absolutely nothing, and you just gotta kind of sit for long enough to really give yourself a good chance. The second option is to drive really slowly and to try and look for animals that are well camouflaged. Now that could be little creatures like mice and snakes and owls and wildcats, sort of in the trees or under the trees or sort of somewhere hidden along the dunes, or even cheetahs or lions lying far away in the shade of a tree. Something that you would miss if you drive too fast. And then the last option is to drive a little bit faster and cover as much ground as possible and go past as many waterholes as possible, obviously hoping that you bump into something along the way. But today, like I said, I'm going for option number one, so let's see what I see. I've sat here for over 2 hours and I haven't seen much more than doves and jackals, but I've decided to persist and resist the urge to drive down to Dalkeith or 14th Borehole. So while we wait for something to come down and drink, let me quickly tell you about the sponsor for this video series. Jim Green Footwear is a proudly South African company that has been producing leather boots since 1992. Not only are their boots handcrafted right here in the Rainbow Nation, but all the components are also locally sourced. Their wide range of boots are versatile, comfortable and extremely durable. In fact, they manufacture safety and work boots for the country's largest telecom and mining sectors, so their boots are tough and built to last. Jim Green Footwear sells both men's and ladies' boots and fellies, and you can follow the link that I've added at the top of the video description if you'd like to order a pair online. Also take a moment to check out their YouTube channel for detailed boot reviews along with some short documentaries. And at the end of this series, keep an eye out for my own review where I'll tell you more about my pair of Jim Green shoelies that I wore to the Kgalagadi. Man, that's so funny. When I got back to camp and it was so much cooler than on the average day, I decided to go for a run, and as I'm doing loops around the camp, one of the staff ladies said to me, "Excuse me, meneer, het u die leeu's gesien? Excuse me, sir, have you seen the lions?" I I said, what do you mean? She says, no, there's 2 lions drinking down at the camp waterhole. So quickly ran down, well, first grabbed the camera, then ran down to the hide, and there were 2 lionesses drinking. And that just shows you, hey, it's all luck of the draw. I'm sitting at Craig Lockhardt for 3 hours and I only see jackal, doves and gemsbok, and I get back to camp, lions drinking. What a win. With my morning stakeout at Craig Lockhardt being relatively unproductive and the lionesses being so close, I decided to spend the rest of the day in camp enjoying being surrounded by so many beautiful small creatures.
Wish that I could stay. Wish for this moment to never go away. But it's all in my mind. And though I know that there is nothing to find, you're a beautiful sight in the summer night. And you can't put up a fight in the misty light.
Around 5 o'clock that afternoon, the 2 lionesses came back to the camp waterhole, and this time they weren't alone. Man, what a special afternoon. I decided to not go out for drive, and not only have I spent the afternoon with these cute little meerkats here in camp, but I've also had the lionesses come down to drink, and they brought their cubs with. What a magical afternoon in Mata Mata. Cheers. Hey buddy. What you doing? Basically what these meerkats are going after, along with some yellow mongooses and some ground squirrels and a lot of birds, are some moths that actually drowned and half drowned in my washing up tub last night. So there's some weird kind of plague of moths and butterflies at the moment, and any little bit of water you leave out overnight gets absolutely filled with moths. So this morning I dumped it here on the ground, and that's what these guys are digging through right now. Shortly after sunset, the lions returned for one final drink before it got dark. It had turned into one of the most enjoyable days in the park since I arrived at Twee Rivieren just over a week ago, and little did I know, the following day would start with a bang. In the next episode, a herd of playful wildebeest come to say hi, I walk to Namibia, and a leopard surprises me early in the morning.